Ladies, please. My fate is in your lovely hands.
Ow.
All right.
Ow.
In 18 years, precisely, the planets will align ever so nicely.
Aye, verse. Aye.
The time to act will be at hand. Unleash the Titans, you monstrous band.
Good.
Then the once proud Zeus will finally fall, and you, Hades, will rule all!
Yes! Hades rules!
A word of caution to this tale.
Excuse me?
Should Hercules fight, you will fail.
Okay, fine. I'm cool. I'm fine.
Hey, howdy, hey, gods, demigods, and other mythological creatures. Wolfman, Force, and Dash here. So today, we're going to talk about one of my all-time favourite Disney villains ever, Hades. Now, whether you love James Woods or hate James Woods, I know he can be a bit of a controversial figure. The one thing he is good at is voice acting. And probably the only character he's ever gone back to reprise the role of in pretty much almost everything is Hades. Obviously, Hades is based on the great Greek mythological god of the same name, all of the underworld and so forth. And the version I'm going to talk about today is obviously from the film Hercules, one of the many Disney Renaissance films that proved to be hugely successful. Story itself is your typical Superman kind of story in which Hercules is born, Hades grows jealous of the baby, wants to be rid of him, and it turns out that he has to get rid of him in order for his plans of conquering the cosmos and Olympus to come into effect. So he sends his minions, and obviously spoilers for what I'm about to say, he sends out his minions, Pain and Panic, to give him a sort of poisonous liquid of some kind.
Pain. Panic. Got a little riddle for you. How do you kill a god?
I do not know! You can't! They're immortal?
Bingo! They're immortal! So, first you gotta turn the little sunspot mortal.
He has to drink every last drop, or otherwise he'll retain some of his god powers. And ultimately, in literal panic, the Pain and Panic fail that by forgetting to give him the very last drop, meaning that he does retain some of his powers. As such, Pain and Panic fail to then kill the baby, and then the baby goes on to do the Superman thing of learning his powers, and then finds a teacher, and then goes to a city to become a great hero, which Hades does eventually find out about, and decides to send a bunch of creatures Hercules' way to take him down, and the creatures themselves resembling the actual 12 labours of Hercules from the Greek mythology, or Heracles, whatever you want to call him. And then after every failed attempt, Hades then decides to do the ultimate thing, which is to give Hercules do the Ursula thing of giving Hercules a kind of sort of contract in which Hercules cannot interfere with his plans, or otherwise Meg will die, or something along those lines. I think, yeah. So So Hercules gives in. He gives all his god powers to Hades. Hades then releases Meg from his contract with her, and he then sets his plan into motion, releasing the Titans to take over the god area of Mount Olympus, and sends a Cyclops Titan to keep Hercules busy, even though Hercules is very powerless against him. Eventually, Meg sacrifices herself, which then means that Hades was not honourable with his deal, allowing Hercules to regain his god powers, and helps his father Zeus fight off Hades' minions and the Titans. And then this all leads to Hades retreating to the underworld with one final plan to basically get rid of Hercules for good, which leads to Hercules going to sacrifice himself to save Meg.
She goes. You stay. Oh, you know what slipped my mind? You'll be dead before you can get to her.
That's not a problem, is it?
Hades realizing that Hercules will die regardless, he sends him down anyway. But then, as it turns out, Hercules has become a god, learning the true meaning of sacrifice.
This is impossible. You can't be alive. You'd have to be a god. Hercules, stop! You can't do this to me. You can't.
And yeah, Hades gets sent to the Mirror Stinks, and at this point, it's then left to viewers, whatever the word is, discretion, I think. Yeah, no, interpretation. That of what happens to Hades after that. But I think because he is a god, he will survive that. And since that film, the film has gone on to become a franchise. It's got a stage musical, which I believe is still being shown at the moment. At the time of doing this video, it's had all sorts of merchandise, and Hades himself has become part of the main cast of Disney villains because of how iconic he is. And the thing I like about this version of Hades is that he's a fast talker, and he comes across as a sort of lawyer kind of character, trying to sell things to people and everything. And I particularly like that about him. Also, it's kind of funny that even though when he does have his angry moments, his fire turns red. It's actually scientifically proven that blue flames are actually much hotter than red flames. But I guess it was an animator's choice to do it as red flames because obviously red represents anger, as we know from as is recognised in a later Disney film, Inside Out. So yeah, and since the Hercules film, Hades has appeared in other things. He was one of the main villains in the House of Mouse Halloween special. The only time where James Woods didn't actually reprise his role, or rather did reprise his role for the speaking parts, but then someone else did the singing parts, which I think was Jim Cummings, who is usually the go-to voice actor for Disney when one of the voice actors is unavailable or does additional voices. He's also a regular character. He makes regular appearances in the Kingdom Hearts games, appearing as far as I know in all but one of the games. And he basically just serves his purpose as being the sort of ruler of the underworld, and sends out Heartless to basically take down people, and also has access to a bunch of Final Fantasy characters that have been killed throughout the Final Fantasy series. So that's interesting. Who else? What other things has been in? He's also in the Dreamlike Valley, playing one of the main characters in one of the DLC stories. Yeah, he's been in a lot of things, and I do really like this version of him because, as I say, he's a fast talker. He has his powers, and it's definitely funny when he has his anger moments. And even though some of us don't particularly like James Woods, he does pretty well with the role that he's given here, and it's great that he loves the role so much that he actually wanted to reprise him any opportunity he got, and that's exactly what's happened. He even reprised his role in the Hercules animated series because, of course, during the time when the Disney Renaissance was still going, we of course had the Disney Channel, which meant that a lot of these films would have their own animated series. Although this would probably be a decision made by the then CEO at the time, Michael Eisner, over Roy E. Disney, who at the time was the only member of the Disney family to still be alive and working for Disney. So yeah, but yeah, that's how I feel about Hades. He's a great villain, fast talker, gets angry at almost everything. Has his minions. He doesn't have a song like most Disney villains do, but that's okay because I'm struggling to try and figure out how he can sing. He's better at talking and so forth. And also I like how he just hates the villain trope of having an evil laugh, because I think that's a great thing to see as well. So yeah, but yeah, that's what I think about Hades. He is one of my favorite characters still, and will be till the day I die. Obviously, if you think you know Hades better than I do, or want to share your thoughts about the character, do so in the comments. Yeah, do check out the Hercules film, the original film. It's a good film. And do play Kingdom Hearts, because they are a good series. I will be playing the first Kingdom Hearts later this month, so look forward to that. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. Like, share, comment, and subscribe if you can, please. Those of you new to the channel, I do vlogs like this where I talk about all sorts of things. So hauls, reviews, rants on life, a character study as I've done today. What else? I do top 10s. I explore the multiverse, or different multiverses. I look at things in a different genre. I look at endings that have gone wrong. I do all sorts of things, and also look at things that haven't been released as well. So yeah. And if you are into gaming, I do gaming videos as well. So I do let's play videos. You know what those are. And I do regular gameplay videos, which are usually for games that I do a long series of videos on because of how big they are, and I just want to play them and so forth. So yeah, see you in the next one. Peace to you all. And remember, if you ever get into a deal with a god, maybe back out of the deal before it's too late, because you don't want to end up going to places where you don't know what's going to happen. So yeah, alright. Doodles.